We got a big boy today. Welcome to Superhuman Customs. I'm Stephen Human, and this is the channel where we just customize action figures. We have a little bit of fun, sometimes we make them into completely different characters. Other times we just do stuff to spruce them up and make them look cooler. And that's what we're gonna do with Violator today, is we're just gonna add some detail. Now this guy is amazing. Like, this came in the lot that Dale sent me, the second one. And when I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, he's heavy. He's like big and just thick. I mean, this guy is amazing. And he's got so much detail all over the place. But my one complaint is that he does look fairly monochromatic. He's obviously had some wash and some dry brushing on him, and there's some good detail. But I want to spruce that up. I want to heighten that a little bit with the bone protrusions and things. I want to make these things look a little bit more, I want there to be more contrast. And so that is what we're going to do today. It probably won't take a super long time, but it'll give us opportunity to experiment, to have some fun, and that's what this is all about. So my friend David got me some dry brush paintbrushes, which I've never used before. So I'm going to get some over here, and we're going to go with some bone white, and we're going to hit these protrusions that he's got all over his body. That's what I want to have stand out first, is these protrusions. And I gotta get used to this dry brush because it's different. I've never done it before. I'm just using bone white for this first one, and that will hopefully start to bring things out, draw them out a little bit. And we're gonna go over all of this stuff. Everything that's got like a bone sort of poking out, we're gonna go over with this bone white. And our dry brush here, this is interesting because it's kind of like a makeup brush, very fluffy. So, all right, I'm just gonna keep going on this. So you can see the difference as I've done this one, and I haven't done this one. So you can see how this one blends in with the body and this one doesn't. These other two pop out. That's what we're going for. We want things to stand out first and foremost. Now I'm gonna do, before I do a little bit of white over the top, I wanna take some wash, and I'm gonna just kind of hit some areas just with a little bit of it, because I wanna add some more contrast in places. He's already got some great stuff, but I just think if I can do it a little bit broader in some of these, add some in some of the cracks and crevices here, that I can make it stand out a little bit more. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be a lot of subtle stuff, like I said. It's gonna be kind of like the clay face that we did, where when you saw them next to each other, like, oh wow, that one does look better. But you don't notice it until that point because there's so much subtlety to it. But he just looks more demonic, and that's what I'm after. So I'm just gonna go through, add some of these things, and make him look that much cooler. So normally I wouldn't do this until closer to the end, but I'm gonna do the white over some of this, and I just was like, I wanna work on these eyes. So I'm taking some neon red, and I'm just gonna do dots with a toothpick on the eye here. It's going to give the eye multiple, again, more than just, a red tone and kind of a black outline tone. It's gonna give it an extra tone, which is gonna make it that much more interesting to look at. And under my lights on my display here, this will glow. And it looks really cool when I do it to figures, just stuff like this, because it catches the light, it makes it just pop, and that's what I want. These little things go a long way, trust me. Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some brown wash, and I'm gonna hit some of these other areas just because I want there to be multiple tones. I want to be able to look at this guy and see that there is dark and light and that it's not all black, and doing these sorts of things really make a character stand out. And that's the whole reason we're doing this. He was already a beautiful figure, but this is just going to add subtleties that are going to make him really, really memorable. Now I'm going to take just some regular white and we're going to dry brush over the top. And while that other brush is drying, I'm gonna just use my regular big fat paintbrush that I usually use. And I'm gonna go through, and this will lighten everything up a little bit more. And that is what we're after. I wanna have this hit just enough
to make it stand out, especially like on the teeth and stuff right here. I mean, you'd be surprised going from bone white to regular white of how much of a difference it makes.
Now, hitting a lot of these areas with just a light, little bit of white, it just gives everything a little bit more texture. So I highly suggest doing it. Don't go too crazy, because like I always want there to be contrast here, but when it hits some of these edges just really nice, it makes it look more worn, it makes it look more real, like scales on a lizard or something. I figured this guy wouldn't take too much, obviously. What I'm gonna do is I'm taking, my kids are breaking stuff in the kitchen. I'm taking a toothpick with some white, and I'm just gonna hit some areas just to make them stand out. I'm gonna do the teeth here, gonna do a couple of the lines here, and then I think we'll be done unless I'm like feeling super inspired to do something. So very simple, but at the end of the day, it'll make a difference.
Now, just to add a couple of fun contrasts here, I'm gonna add a little bit of neon yellow just to some of the spikes here. And I'm gonna hit them with my finger just to tone them down. And this will just give things a little bit different feel. You know, I like having just a little bit different contrast, the things that don't necessarily match everything else. But I think that they're gonna go a long way to just making this guy look really cool at the end of the day. And that's what I want.
Now, obviously, most of what I did on this guy was pretty subtle. And so hopefully in the close-up and in the side-by-side, you can see a difference. For me, I can see it in just the lightening of the bones and things. And it's not something you necessarily have to do, even on this guy. But when you do it, it just makes him look better. And you can do anything you want. So if you wanted to add, like I kind of added the little yellow bits, I watered them down a little bit. You could do it with red if you wanted, or however it is you kind of wanted to make this guy your own, you could do it in those subtleties. So this is just what I chose. You could choose something different, but I hope that you're experimenting and that you're taking things like this and going like, okay, this is already really awesome. It doesn't need anything, but it just looks better when you do it. So take the time, experiment, have some fun, spend a Saturday morning making your Violator look just that much more gross. I'm Stephen Human. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you soon.